All right, so in the previous video, we were attempting to, shall I say, not delete totally the HTML, the CSS, and JavaScript code. So I just commented out both of them. Now we are only left with our normal HTML code. So this is to answer the question that is HTML enough to be a designer? Now you're going to answer the question by yourself. When I remove CSS and JavaScript from the calculator, this is what we have. Can you see? We have every of those functionalities. Don't divide by zero. We have the cancel. We have a reset universe. We have our reset universe. We have the numbers. Every other thing that was there, but it is obviously not looking arranged, not looking beautiful. That's because it is only HTML. So obviously this is not looking too good. It's not looking so attractive, but this is more like what you can actually do with HTML alone. And to show you the importance of CSS, now I'm going to add back our CSS. Now let's assume you've already learned CSS and you want to add your style sheet back, your code, your CSS code back to it. Now I'm adding some CSS code. Now every of this thing here might look strange to you, obviously it's looking strange to you, even the HTML. But don't worry, every of them is not as hard as it looks. Over time, just learn it. With time, you understand it. Now I've added CSS back to the code with my CSS knowledge, and look at what the calculator looks like. Can you see? I changed the background already. Let me see if I can scroll up. Okay, this is the highest I can go. All right, I changed the entire background. The text are written here. Don't divide by zero. Arrange properly. This is the cancel button, and you have all the numbers, all of them wrapped inside box with background with some kind of over effect, looking really beautiful. But then, is it working? If I click, let's try to solve something and see if it works. I type 6, it's not responding. 6 plus, it's actually showing something at the top. 6 minus 5, for instance. It's not, this one is not even showing, it's not working. And then is equals to, can you see the 0 is not changed, it is still 0. So it is beautiful, right? But it's just like a static robot. It's not, it doesn't move. And that's why we said the HTML is the thing. The CSS is what gives color, what gives beauty, what beautifies it. Anyhow you want it to look. The page, the software interface, that's what CSS does. And finally now, to make that calculator work properly, that is verb. We had our JavaScript code. So I go back here to this place and then I add my JavaScript code. Now with JavaScript, look at now the calculator works perfectly fine. Let me see. Can this thing go up more? Okay, it can go up more. 8 plus 9. Can you see that it's even responding here? Let me scroll down. So equal to and all the way up as our final answer 17. So the combination of the three is what makes this calculator work. Without CSS, it's not looking good. JavaScript is what makes it work properly, but HTML alone cannot give you what you want. Now I'm going to make another illustration here. This is something I did. It's a static site anyway. It's just a project I did some time ago, and I just did it for fun because I love challenges. Now let me show you everything about this code. This page, if you look at it now, it has a footer, it has the body. I have it's more like a social media where you log in, you have likes, your post has likes and views. You have a sign up button. You can see the response of the sign in button. See the sign up button as well. Can you see? We have different pages on this. You can go to different. If I click it to take me to a different page, and when I over this, the link turns white. If you notice, and this one turns kind of gold. This one, can you see this search box? I click here, I can type things, although because there's no back end work, if I search, it won't go anywhere. So all of this was made just with HTML and CSS. Now I'm going to remove the CSS styles from the page and see what this beautiful looking page would look like without CSS. So here I am. This is my CSS code that I wrote. I have about, over 500 lines of code to make that app look the way it's looking. Let me see. I think, yeah, about 500. Needs about 500 or almost. Okay, so I have about 478 lines of code to make that app work. And I'm sure you're wondering what this is or where I am right now. Don't worry, you will understand and get familiar with every of them as time goes on. So I'm going to remove my CSS styles. I'm leaving it just HTML to show you that CSS, I mean, has great effects. So I have my CSS, every of those things, news, politics, the buttons that are all there. I'm going to refresh the page and you see for yourself. See the difference. I refresh. Let's see what we have. Now, can you see? This is all I have from that side. Isn't it wonderful how CSS can transform? This is a template. That's why it's not changing. It's a template. You understand what a template is later. It's a template, and this one is working perfectly. But every other part of it that was connected to my CSS, can you see every of those designs, the pictures, the images, they are all not even there. They are totally off. Can you see? Totally off. The buttons are here. These ones will still work if I click them. For instance, can you see it takes me to another page? I can go to politics page. If you look here, you see politics.html. I click on sports. It goes to the sports.html page. There are different pages. Back to the home page. This is what we have. Can you see our search icon that we saw before? Everything is just not looking fine. So this is how far you can go with HTML. But adding CSS back, gives so much advancement. I save and then look at the transformation that takes place just by adding CSS to this. Can you see we have some animation work? So that is the power of CSS. And of course, finally, I showed us the power of JavaScript. So while you're learning the HTML, very soon you're going to be done in probably 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks max. You'll be done with this course, but ensure that you don't stop there, except you don't wish to build a career in tech. But if you really want something, then please remember the purple dino danced. Your dino will not dance without JavaScript, and your dino will not even be colorful. It will just be black and white like an Asian TV without CSS. But the point is, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, and that one step is HTML. And I think you should congratulate yourself. You should how do I say, you should motivate yourself, yeah, for at least taking that first step. And trust me, this first step is even a basic step, is the foundation. Without HTML, you can't even apply the CSS. So you still need, compulsorily, you need to first learn the foundation before you can build other blocks on it. So in the next video, I'll be telling us what are the tools we need to for this course.